So, I am here for a video that I was really hoping that I wouldn't have had to make, and that it wouldn't have had to come down to this. But unfortunately, I do feel like that this is the tough decision that needs to be made here. First, I would like to say Happy New Year to you guys. Of course, this is my first video of 2023. And it is a real shame that my first video of 2023 had to be one that was not necessarily on the positive side of things, but oh well, it is what it is, right? But there is a lot that I do want to talk about here, and a lot does need to be said. And I do need to be honest, not just with you guys, but with myself as well. Now, when it comes to this decision that I made here, this wasn't just like a sudden decision that randomly came to my head or whatever. No, I've actually had thoughts about this for a little while now, and I've come to the realization that it is probably the best thing. Now, I've been holding out, making this video because I was hoping for a turnaround, but there hasn't really been much change, so unfortunately, this is just how things are, so there you go. So, I probably will be going more low-key on this channel from this point on. I will probably not upload as regularly as I usually do because you guys know that I do upload quite often on the channel. But don't be surprised if you see me go weeks without uploading videos or anything like that, because again, I'll probably just be going low-key. Now look, I'm not quitting, so don't worry. This isn't me quitting completely. I don't think I could ever quit completely. Obviously, I'll be here for the important stuff, the big stuff, like if a band that I like announces a new album or something, I'll of course talk about that, and when a band releases a new album, I'll review it, of course, because we got new albums from In Flames, Obituary, and Metallica this year, so of course I'll be reviewing those and everything. And same thing with movies as well, like when I go see new movies and stuff, I'll of course do reviews for those. Now, when it comes to the pickup videos, I'm a little unsure on. That's something that I'm still thinking about. I guess we'll see with that one. But yeah. Now, of course, when it comes to my series and film work, that won't go anywhere either, of course. There's a saying that goes for musicians, like a musician is not just what someone does, but it's who they are. I kind of align that statement with filmmakers as well. Like, filmmaking is not just something that I do, but it's also my passion, and it's a part of who I am. So of course, that'll be a part of this channel as well. I'll probably always be doing stuff, whether that's, scripting and, working on new projects and things like that. So that won't go anywhere either. But when it comes to just these random one-off videos, like these versus videos that you see on the channel, you'll probably see less of those. Less, little videos like those, because again, I've been seeing very little purpose in doing so. And that's how I've been feeling, and that's something that I've been questioning. Like, what is the purpose anymore? Like, I've just been seeing very, very little purpose in this anymore. Back in 2015, 2016, my earlier years on the channel, it was all fun, but now, not really so much. So with that said, some of you are probably wondering why. Like, why am I making this decision? There's a lot of reasons. First of all, it definitely has a lot to do with motivation. I'm definitely not as motivated to make videos like I used to. So obviously that's something that's going to play a factor in this. So again, it was all fun at first, but now not so much. And maybe this has a lot to do with another reason why, I'm kind of going low-key, is, well, I've been severely underperforming on this channel recently. When it comes to my subscriber count, I'm not growing whatsoever. I mean, seems like I've been stuck at the same subscriber count for God knows how long. It feels like months, if I'm being honest. It actually might be that, but who knows. And also, the view counts, I haven't really been getting many views on my more recent videos, and even my comments section as well. Like, the only people who comment on my videos are like the same 2 to 3 people that always comment on my videos, which, I'm thankful for those people and everything, but I just expected more at this point. And I think that's one of the main reasons why I'm feeling this way. Now, you guys know that I recently celebrated 8 years on YouTube, on this platform. I've been a YouTuber for 8 years now. And I don't know. I think I'm just at this point now where I just expect more. I know that some people might say, oh, Zach, well, you should just do it for the fun of it. That's why I do it. That's why I do YouTube, for the fun of it and everything. Yes, I would agree that, yeah, it is good to do it just for the fun of it. That's, for the longest time, why I've been doing it, for the fun of it. But, there does get to a point where if you see very little improvement, it can have an effect on your motivation. Now, I don't know if that's just me, but I just feel like that's something that plays a factor, and that's the case, Now, I know that there were some haters. I remember there was someone a few years ago who said, it's pathetic that I'm at the number that I'm at now, given how long I've been on YouTube. And, haters will say stuff like this to make it stick with you, right? Like, so that you'll remember it. And unfortunately, it worked. I mean, it's something that I do remember and I do think about, because there were a couple people that have said this to me. Like, how is it that you've been on YouTube for this long and you're at this subscriber count? I'm not going to lie, that is pretty pathetic. Now, of course, it's not all my fault. Like, when it comes to my sub count, that isn't all my fault, because obviously I'm not in control of who subs and who doesn't. So I don't know why people even bother saying this stuff, like, to make other YouTubers feel like losers or whatever. And it does seem like anytime I do try to make a massive leap, it always gets shot down. I remember a few years ago, I really did think that I would be much more successful on the platform. Getting more involved in the metal community here on YouTube. Now, nothing against a lot of these guys. A lot of these guys I am cool with, and I do have respect for them, and some of them not so much, but it is what it is. That's the case with any community, Some people you'll be cool with, and some people you won't be, but I just don't feel like I'm on their level, basically. Like, I don't really feel the most welcomed, if that makes sense. Not that I'm necessarily on bad terms with them or whatever, Like I said, I'm very cool with a lot of them, but I don't know. I'm just not on their level. I'm not, gaining that same amount of view counts like they do or anything, And I've probably been on YouTube longer than a lot of these guys have. Now, look, that isn't me saying that I'm better than them or whatever just because I've been on YouTube longer than they have. I'm just going by, expectations and, what would be a more realistic thing to expect, That's all. These guys, they do a very good job on their content, I think. And, it's cool that they're gaining success. But I've been starting to wonder if Zach D really deserves a voice on this platform. I get that I'm not the most likable person. Never have been. But I was really hoping that, when I did YouTube, it would be a nice change up of things. And yes, I have met some very cool people on this platform and everything, but there's just very little improvement. Not really much is happening. And I really don't know how to grow on this platform. I really don't. I feel like I've tried a lot of things, Now, again, it does have a lot to do with motivation as well. And look, my motivation, it goes beyond just, my performance on this platform. It does go for my mental state as well. I've been kind of keeping silent about it for a while. I'm tired of keeping silent about it, but it seems like recently my mental state and my mental health has took a massive decline. It's kind of gotten worse over time. And that has a lot to do with my motivation, and I don't know. Like, I just haven't been feeling like doing anything. So that's definitely something that's had an effect on me as well. Because my life has pretty much stayed the same, which has an effect on my mental state. There's not really any change in my personal life either, Back in like 2017, 2018, I was a little more positive, My mental health has kind of had its ups and downs. I would say that around 2018, 2019-ish, like that is when I was a little more on the positive side because, then I was hopeful for the future. I was hopeful for the things to come. But I think I'm just at this point now where I'm just tired of hoping, and I'm ready for whatever it was that I was waiting for then to happen already. Many accomplishments in life and things like that. Now, look, I know in one of my update videos, one of my more recent ones, I did tell you guys some goals that I had, some things that I would like to accomplish this year in 2023, but I'm not 100% certain if it's going to happen, And I'm just worried that this will be a 2022 clone, basically. That's just kind of how I've been feeling, And again, going back to the channel, like, my performance has not been very strong, and look, I know that throughout the years on this platform, there have been certain people that I have sort of rubbed the wrong way. Now, look, a lot of that was not my fault. Like, I know that, not every little instance where someone on this platform cut ties with me was my fault. Like, I know that there's people on this platform who cut ties with me over some views that I have, ridiculous things like that. Like, that obviously is not my fault. That's their problem that they have to deal with. But I do understand at the same time there were instances where it was my fault. I know that some people, accuse me of being an elitist. I have a problem with what other people's music taste is or whatever, which it's not necessarily been that. I believe I've stated before that it was never about what someone likes musically. It's only about what they're not willing to check out. That's all that it ever was, and probably all that it ever will be. However, maybe the way I deliver that message is taken in a negative manner. I mean, who knows? And I get that, I do say a lot of things that that a lot of people don't like, you could say. So I do understand that, there's that as well. And I get that I'm not, as well spoken as a lot of the other guys in the metal community are, I get that I'm not the best speaker or anything, so, I know I use terms like, often. Yes, I did notice that, because I know that some of you do, so there you go. But yeah, it's just, it's something that I've noticed. Like, I get that I don't speak the best way, like, because I've been starting to wonder, like, what is it that the other guys that do what I do have that I don't? I do think it's a number of things, though. Like, now that I really think about it, now that I really took some time to think about it, well, like I said, they probably speak better than I do, and they also talk about way more bands than I do, which, I applaud them for that. That's not a bad thing, but I do get that, they are into a lot more bands than I am, and they introduce people into a lot of bands. Like, I'll see comments on some of these guys' videos that say, hey man, without you, I would have never gotten into this band that's super underground or whatever. You know how it goes. And look, there's nothing wrong with that, but, you know, that's probably one of the reasons why they're gaining a lot more success than I am. Because a lot of the bands that I do talk about, yes, I will admit, a lot of people have already heard of. Now, yes, there are some bands that not many people have heard of, you know, when they discover my channel, and I do understand that. I have gotten people into bands who have discovered this channel. I know that I have gotten comments before saying, hey, if it wasn't for Zach D, I wouldn't have gotten into Demon Hunter. Because, well, I am kind of seen as the Demon Hunter guy on YouTube. So, of course, you know, because I'm probably the guy on YouTube who talks about them the most. So there you go. I know that there's people that said that they got into them through me, which I think is very cool. And there's even other bands as well that some people have named that they got into through me. Really can't think of many on the top of my head, but I know that there's some, and, you know, I know that there's some guys out there who did get into some bands through me, even if it's not many, but oh well. So there have been some milestones on the channel. You know, it's not like I regret everything, you know, like, it is what it is. But I do understand that a lot of people have kind of went their own way. I know that a lot of people have been turned off by Zach D, maybe by something I've said in the past, but, you know, unfortunately, when it comes to these people, they don't realize that the Zach D of the past is not the same Zach D as now. You know, I've changed in a lot of ways. Even in some of my viewpoints, I've changed. I've changed my mind on a lot of things, you know, by the way I handle certain things, you know, whether that's relationships, or, you know, whether it's a worldview that I have, or whatever the case may be. You know, a lot of people don't realize that I've changed my mind on a lot of things since a few years ago. So that supposed elitist Zach D that a lot of people like to claim me to be back in 2017 or whatever is not the same Zach D as now. So I don't know what else needs to be said here, but all I know is that this ain't working, and I should probably just go low-key. And maybe that'll do this channel some good, you know, going low-key. Because I do understand that maybe some people get annoyed by the amount of times I upload videos, but who knows if that has anything to do with it. Now, could there ever be a time again where I am passionate about making videos more often? Well, sure, but it depends. You know, it depends how things go, basically. Also, when it comes to my personal life, you know, like I said, there's many goals in life that I want to accomplish, and, you know, I just want to have time for other things. You know, I work more now, and, you know, like, I just want to have time for other things. I want to get my life sorted out and everything like that, you know, because, well, of course, regarding my mental health and everything, you know, which is something I probably should have gotten help with a long time ago, but oh well. Either way, I hope you guys are willing to understand and respect this decision. Like I said, this is not me quitting completely, but I just won't upload as much as I used to. That's all. So, there you go. I don't know what else to say, but I just want to thank you guys so much for the support, for those of you who do continue to support me on this channel, for those who subscribe and everything. Now, even though I feel like at this point on YouTube I do expect more, I still am very thankful for the people who subscribe and comment on my videos, for sure. So, thank you guys for that. So, thanks for watching. Take care, guys.